I'm just a hiring voluntold. Hello, welcome.
They're not talking about, oh, wow, there's Abe Lincoln. Oh, Abe.
I heard you got some stuff from the 1800s here.
Okay.
Look behind
Well,
you.
This is 1900.
This was built in my hometown. It's a La France before it became American La France, or possibly as a combo.
So it's similar to something they would have used during
Well,
the burning of-
what is publicized that was here, the burning of Chambersburg. If you want to come out here, I'll tell it to you.
He don't know you.
No, I know you don't.
Is this hand drawn? 1780. The date back to that time.
This is how they use it.
Wow.
That's when the
Oh, I won't get
French
rid of
Fire
it.
Company was and the hand drawn.
We'll hit this as we
It
get
had
back on
a full reel of hose, and the story has
This
it
is how they put the
that
fires out.
when they set the fire
That
to
we found was published in
the general
1964.
that ordered the fire to be set, he was a mason.
Group of men from
This was put up next to the mason's building, and he left orders that that building wasn't to be touched since he was a mason.
Mmm.
But this was put up there to help protect the masons.
Was out one day.
Around the burning of Chambersburg.
That's crazy.
See here is
Needed a picture with you next to it, Mikey.
Like I said, it was ordered hand drawn. Usually had 4 or 6 people here in the front pulling. I had a couple in the back that if it started downhill or something, they could
Hold it back a little bit,
hold
yeah.
it back a little bit to keep it from going downhill so fast.
Chambersburg was more hilly back then.
Now I have pulled this and held on to the back of it a couple of times, but it was only for parades because I was a member of the Friendship Fire Company, so I got the opportunity to do that.
she wants to come in.
It's this is actually a piece that was advertised to be around during the burning of Chambersburg.
That's awesome.
It was used up until 1975. Sold to the Frank.
If you'd like me to take you through the rest of the building, I'm willing to do that.
Sure, yeah.
You can start out here.
What time would you have to be down?
I've never... Okay, so that is, yep, it just don't have the logo on the front. I've never seen the certificates before.
Now to give you a little bit of my background, I started volunteering in Chambersburg when I was 18 years old. Several years later, I was hired by the Borough of Chambersburg to be an apparatus driver. And this was the first piece I was assigned to. And I drove it for several years. Not completely. For the first few years it was off and on because I spent 2 days assigned to this, and then since I was low man on the totem pole, somebody wanted off the ambulance, so I went over on the ambulance. So I spent about 12 years on the ambulance, but in that time I got several opportunities to drive out. Now,
I've never seen an Orin fire truck. This is the first.
well, they're not in existence.
I didn't think, yeah.
But this one over here is what we call the Blue Goose. If you look up there on the top of that box.
Yeah, I see it, yeah.
But this is, as far as we know, it was the first, and I don't even know if they have had any since, that was a robin egg blue fire engine. There was not much call for that, but this is the CB's Chambersburg, and they wanted it robin egg blue, and that's what they got. This one hasn't been restored. That one has been restored. That's why that's nice and shiny.
Yeah, yeah.
That one's been fully restored. But this is a 47. That's a 53. Like I said, Both of these were in service when I started back in '72. Today, if an engine gets much more than 4 or 5 years old, they replace it.
Yeah, yeah.
But these serve many, many years.
Because certain fire companies, even if they don't use the fire truck, they got to change the tires and rotate fire truck. There's so much that comes into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if we go back here, this is a 1925. And it was in service up to, I would say, the late 60s, early 70s.
This was built in my hometown.
But
Oh.
for a fact, the last time it was honestly used was during the Hurricane Agnes in '72. They were using it to pump basements out.
Oh, wow.
So it's had quite a long life.
Oh, yes.
And one thing I'd like to point out here on this is if you look in here, it's chain driven.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of them like that.
How many buildings did they burn? Did you save? It was quite a bit.
It looks like it has, is that wooden or is that metal spokes?
That could be metal.
They're really hard to tell. Like, I couldn't tell by touching the other one.
Yeah.
And I've never...
Are they wooden or metal spokes in that?
I think they're wooden.
Okay. Like I said, it's a little hard to tell.
Yeah.
I've never seen any of these out of all my time, like looking up LaFrance stuff is one of these certificates. And these are all hand painted. I like that craftsmanship.
That gold leaf that's on there.
Yep.
And of course, this is turn of the century steam engine.
Mm-hmm.
And this was horse drawn. For a fact, it run out of this station, and the horses used to be kept back here.
Mm-hmm.
And they had the rigging, harnesses and everything hanging from the ceiling. And all they'd have to do when the alarm come in was open stalls. The horses would come out here, get in position, and they could drop the harness right on the horse and fasten the belts on the harness. And it'd be occupied by 2 people. You'd have the driver, and there'd be what they call a fireman. But his job was to start a fire in this. When they went out of the building, he'd start a fire in it to build up the fire and everything, so they could work up steam and everything, and they could throw water on the fire. And this used to be, I know whenever I first started in the fire department, like I said, that's probably so many years ago I can hardly remember, but when I was 18, they had older people who belonged to the CV hose company here that kept exercising this, and they could take it out whenever they got a team of horses. They could take it out and they could actually pump water with this.
Oh, that'd be cool to see.
That would have been back probably the late 60s.
Oh, wow.
So they could still pump water with the thing. Now I'm pretty sure the pump's all seized up.
Yeah, it's just basically a static display.
Yeah, because they used to get in here, and I don't know if those wheels they turn, but there was something they could turn and everything and keep everything loose.
Mm-hmm.
And they could pump water with it then.
That's cool.
But, it's quite interesting.
Now this is cool to see, a wall with all the alarm boxes. I've never seen this.
Well, do you realize how that's supposed to work, the system? Because I can demonstrate it for you if you want to see it demonstrated. But
I've heard of it, but I've never seen it.
But this was a list of all the boxes that was in the borough and their locations, and they're all numbered. The 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1 was the wards where the boxes were, because there was 5 wards. And the main thing would be is if you wanted to, if you saw a fire and you went to the corner where the firebox was, this works right. That's all you have to do. You see, this is and that taps out the box. So there you can read that. That one's 12. You'd have to look at the board and see where 12. But
That'll wake you up.
Alright, so the first set of dots is for the first number, and the second set of dots is for the second number.
yes.
Okay,
Alright,
that's
that
cool.
makes sense. And then if there's 3 sets of numbers, it does it 3 times.
Yeah.
Ah, interesting.
I was wondering how the Morse code setup was. Alright, that makes sense then.
If you go over there, you find the box and you know right where to go. And the object was that whoever pulled the box, they would stay
Scotland,
there at the box.
Ramsey, number 112.
Here, point out where
It's the closest thing.
Yeah. Now it got to the point towards the end of the system before he put it out of service. It was used more for false alarms. Because I can remember one time, I don't remember what year it was, but we had people running around and just pulling boxes, but it always seemed to be in southwest end of town. And it got to the point they turned in so many alarms in the evening and into the night that most of the stations, these are all spring wound, and we just let them run down so they would stop working. Because as long as the springs were wound up in them, they would work. And another thing to point out, that was that bell ringing. That was an older bell, or not an older, it was a newer type bell that we used. Originally, it was designed with that bell, and that's a lot louder bell. In fact, I can remember being as a member of the Friendships at East Point, I could remember being, I would go to, after work, I would go up like to Hardee's and get something to eat and go down to the firehouse. And I remember coming back from Hardee's that I could hear that bell. The station was closed up, but I could hear that bell ringing down at the station.
Wow.
That's how loud that was.
So do you remember around what year they switched from the fire boxers to the call boxers?
Terry, do you know what time they shut the system down?
1989. 1989, they took it out. Instead of restoring the boxes when they went bad, it was cost effective just to pull them out, because what you have in your hand and what I have was starting to become more popular. So
this was for a time whenever not everybody had a telephone.
it came in 1904.
Yeah, and not everybody had a telephone, and that's why they had these boxes out so fires could be reported. Belonged to Junior Hose and Truck Company.
It's a ward.
Yeah, it's a ward of France.
That's the relative of American. They're like cousins or something.
I love the colors.
I love the color.
It's a shame you look now on the internet and none of them have survived.
None like this, no. Unless they're in a barn.
About the pieces, the companies.
Oh no, there's like, I have only, I think maybe 1 or 2, but in pictures online. Yeah, see the similarities, like the front end of this thing compared to the ladder?
That's a perch.
Ah, okay.
I think it was Peter Perch is what it actually, but that was a perch. That one I loved to drive. It was short. It had power steering and everything. Those two out there don't have power steering.
Oh, God.
That's why, if you look at it, and this one don't have power steering. That's why you got that big steering wheel
Oh, yeah, oh, yeah.
to help steer it. But the Perch is power steering, and it's short. There probably wasn't any place in town, alley or whatever, that you couldn't get that piece in.
That is awesome.
Now, if you take that into consideration and look at the modern day ladder truck, which is a straight body, it can't get in hardly any of the alleys.
No, no.
It just can't do it. It just won't make the length of it won't let it make the turn into the alleys. But that you could get in practically any place.
Now, what year is this ward?
I'd have to look here to make sure. Bill, tell me what year this ward is. What year is this ward? Quick, tell me. Is it on the license plate?
36.
Yeah. 1936. But
I can go and tell you what year the order is. That's a 53.
yep, that's right. I can tell you that because.
That has it on the license plate.
Yeah, well, that has it on the license plate. B&I operated. I never operated this. But this was the hook and ladder we had at one time. It's still around here. I don't know if it's put back together completely, but there is a person around here that owns both pieces, because towards the end of its career with the fire department, they took this tractor, I guess the engine went in it, they took it off and put a new tractor under it. But the guy that ended up with this tractor ended up with the ladder truck.
Oh,
he
wow.
said he's going to put them back together.
That'd be cool.
And I think that's probably about a 36 or something like that. Somewhere in there.
The Ward and American, like around that era, they almost looked identical. And Chevy did the same thing when they made fire trucks too. They all had that round nose. Gold plate leaf, I love it. There, if you forget how to drive a stick, it tells you which gear you're in.
The last I seen was
That's
over
awesome.
there, they had the ambulance.
Well, another big problem with both of these in here. It's a standard transmission, but it don't have any synchronizer in that transmission. So you have to do what they call a double clutch to shift gear. It's not that easy. This other equipment in here, even though it could pump water, it did pump water at one time and everything, it was more of a parade piece.
Yeah, 2 months it'll be
A fire
4
pump.
years since Jimmy's been going.
They used it in parades to squirt people, squirt each other, what have you. Is what they used
Almost
it for.
looks like that'd be used in a mine somewhere to put out a mine.
Well, yeah, I can see that.
But these other two hose reels, this came from the engineering company. When they disbanded their fire brigade out there, they put it in storage out there, and many years later, when they started with the museum here, they donated it to the museum. And it's basically about the same as any other hose reels. Hand-drawn piece of equipment. But that was a hose reel that belonged to the Goodwill Fire Company.
A whole raft of blue ribbon stuff on there for sale. Clocks, signs, mugs.
Now the miscellaneous stuff he's setting in here for, these are different types of air masks.
Who took them?
Very old.
They're all gone.
I never liked using, I had used once or twice, but I never liked using them. They were the cartridge type air mask, and you have to activate them by blowing into them and get them going first before you can use them. But then they came along with the air tanks and type air mask. Much easier. You just open the valve on the tank and you're ready to go. A lot easier.
Well, if I'd have known you was going to be down there, I'd brought some eggs along.
As far as the other stuff shown around here,
Around dinner time.
just a month or two ago, we celebrated the 200th anniversary, I believe it was. Something like that. Of the Goodwill. Well, it originally was the hospital had an ambulance, but then when they decided it outlived its usefulness. There was a gentleman from Goodwill Fire Company that got the Goodwill Fire Company to agree to buy and build and buy new ambulances for him and run it out of the fire company instead out of the hospital. And that went on up until probably in the 80s, maybe, I forget now what the exact date was, that it was turned over to the borough. And the borough runs the ambulance now. And I worked the ambulance from something like this to the first boxes they had.
Huh.
And it's funny, the progression here. Box, then they went to limousine style, now they're back to the boxes again. Then the main thing was, is the stuff you have to carry on the ambulance today would never fit in the limousine style ambulance.
No.
They don't have enough space. But I think they said they could handle 8 people in the first ambulances up there.
Oh, wow.
Today you don't. Today, very rarely do you ever take more than one. If you do, it's just 2.
It's hot in here,
But
it's not really.
but it's.
Probably like it was last week.
I spent 12 years working on the ambulance. This here is a collection from a gentleman who was a big supporter and starter of this museum. He collected all these little fire trucks. They're actually, most of them are actually banks. But,
There's the fire truck.
Yeah. It was Guy Flory, that's whose picture is there. That's his collection.
Oh, wow.
When he passed away, the family wanted something to do with the collection, so
Eating dinner in front of the TV.
somebody suggested, why don't we put it in the museum? So that's
Just being
what we did.
relaxed.
Brooklyn and Lewistown, well, part of Heritage now, they have one of these. That Aaron
Fox.
Aaron Fox. They have one of Aaron. I don't know what model. It looks. I was like, ooh, that's not a LaFrance. He's like, no.
Some more of them down here.
Yeah. Wow. Lots of stuff.
For fact, most of them up through there are all Aaron Foxes.
Wow. Ooh, I've never seen one this color for a model. That's cool. Fairbanks. That's cool. I like how you have one of the Dove.
Well, a lot of times the fire companies did do that.
Like a fundraiser kind of deal?
Like a fundraiser. Because they're what they call an Ertl bank.
Okay.
And they had one made like the fire truck that was in their station.
Deer tracks in there, and I thought the deer was eating my stuff.
For fact, the tractor and trailer there was Marion's nurse tanker that they had at one time.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
What was nice about the nurse tanker was that if you got to the scene and somehow the engine would quit in the tractor, you still had the tank and you could hook to the tank, keep the tank filled, and have water at the scene. Yeah. If a lot of these engine tankers they have today, if something happens, the engine quits.
You're out of luck.
They can't pump water.
No.
So.
It's all like one setup. All, yeah. Pretty cool. I just can't get over this thing.